All right, so what's poppin', Big Headed fam? It's your boy Big Gotti. Thank y'all for tuning in with me on another one. I hope everybody having a good day out there. If y'all new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because it lets you know when I drop. Now, in today's episode, so we got Candace Owens going in on Don Lemon. So Don Lemon seemed to be trying to call her out on a lot of her previous statements, but you know, Candace Owens ain't going for it. She's standing on business. But you know, you got a lot of people that feel like Candace Owens, but you got some people that feel like Don Lemon. I ain't finna lie, but I'm gonna give y'all a bar this, and y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comment section, man. Let's run it.
Okay, so listen, listen, I believe in free speech, right? But I also believe that free speech comes with consequences. So the word you said was right? Is that exactly the word? So what did you mean by that? You think it's okay to say the word, to call people to their face?
No, actually, I said words have meaning. And so when you start allowing the perverts to dictate speech, then words just have to go away. And as I said in that clip, when I was growing up and I was reading English novels, when people say you're walking through the woods to get a it meant a bundle of sticks. And then they said you can no longer say this word that has a real meaning, right? A bundle of sticks, because some pervert took that and threw it as an epithet towards gay people. I think
that's messed up, because that's like saying they could take any word now and say we can't say it. So I feel like that's not right. That's taking away freedom of speech, and that's showing you how much the government is in control. But let's go.
That's actually, that's a wrong way of thinking, because then what you're doing is you're allowing perverts to dictate society. Yeah. So I don't like the death of the English language because people are getting offended. So that's like, I could pick any word. I could say, you know, plant. Right. And from now on, every time I see a gay guy, I'm gonna be like, he's a total plant. And then eventually they say you can't say plant anymore. It's like, no, this is a real word that has meaning. Attack the person who's perverting the word, but you don't suddenly disappear a word and you say you can no longer say it, or you can no longer read these Virginia Woolf novels because the word has been perverted. I think that's a backwards way of thinking.
Read Virginia Woolf novels, and the only people I know who are trying to ban books, Virginia Woolf, and other books that even say the N-word, I mean, it's conservatives. That's who's trying to do it. I don't think that you should be banning books. No. But I do know, Candace, that language evolves over time. And when people say that word to me, they're not calling me a cigarette. They're not calling me
obviously. But
hold on, going back to the book conversation first. So if the books say the N-word in it, then they should leave it in there. I mean, that's a part of our history. Obviously, they let it happen before, so just leave it in there now. There's no reason why people should be offended by it, because look how far we've grown. But second off, if a word, like I said, has a real meaning in a dictionary, you should not ban it just because, you feel like someone don't like it or whatever. Like, that's not okay.
Point. It has a context. So if you want to punish that person because they're saying that offensively, that, you know, if you feel that this person, but it's not fair to then say to everybody else who's not using that word that this word has now been banned. I just think that's ridiculous. You know, that's my point.
You think people
like, I don't think you can suddenly say go backwards and delete words that had real meaning because someone has perverted it, because it never stops. It just becomes constantly having to update the language for people's feelings. And I don't think that we should be doing that.
So you would never call me a in my face, right?
Well, why would I just randomly call you a
But why would she call him that word and she just told you it was a bundle of sticks? Like, that don't even make no sense. His argument don't make no sense. Like, she would have to be dumb to say, oh, you that word, when she told you it was a bundle of sticks. Like, she ain't gonna use it in no derogatory term. Come on.
Meaning,
have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on? Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on?
No, I like Louis C.K., but I don't think I've ever seen a skit on.
You should watch it.
Yeah. No, but you would never call like a gay person that to their face.
That seems like an absurd, like, what? No, I'm not just going around. I'm a 35-year-old mother. I don't go around being like, hey, you're a It's just like, I'm not 18 years old. Like, I'm not going around calling people names, period. I wouldn't go up to a fat person and call them names. It's just like it's an absurd thing to be going around pointing and calling people names because I don't like them. I would, no. So the answer is no, I would not.
Do you use the N-word?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. Here's something interesting that we may have some common ground on. Okay. But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think I'm sinful?
What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, okay. You're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I actually don't believe marriage.
I mean, when it comes to the Bible, I mean, she's right. He is sinning. And I feel like the government bent so many rules and laws lately, you know, for same-sex marriages to get, you know, tax breaks and stuff like that. It's becoming like weird. Like they got their own little agenda that they trying to push forward.
And be between two men. So I don't.
But you understand, though, Candace, and maybe we're not going to agree on this now. I thought we would. Do you understand, though, that the same Bible verses and the same scriptures that are used to call same-sex marriage sinful are used to call interracial marriage sinful as well. And so there are people who would say that you are in a sinful marriage.
Can you tell me which verse it is that would make people say?
Yeah, I ain't never heard that. It sounds like you're making something up now.
The thing is that it's actually not there, and that people twist the Bible verses. That's my whole point. Thank you for proving that, because it doesn't say that, and it's actually, you're going to say Leviticus or whatever. It's not actually what Leviticus says. But go on. I don't want to get into.
Why would he say that's what it said and then say, oh, that's not what it says? Like, it almost sounded like he was trying to get her to go with what he was saying, but she knew that he was lying.
Specifics about the Bible, but that's not what the Bible says. It's just people using and interpreting scripture in a way that they want to interpret it. So look, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, but there are people who believe, Candace Owens, that you are in a sinful marriage because you are in an interracial marriage. And I say that as someone who is in an interracial marriage, so I am doubly sinful.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody make a biblical argument against people being married that are black and white. So that's why I said, can you just tell me what verse that was? Sodomy is obviously a sin, but I've never heard a biblical argument. I'm happy to learn. I honestly, I'm happy to learn.
Sodomy is not just for gay sex, right? You know that, right? Sodomy is.
Yeah, it's a sin always, by the way.
Yeah, it's a sin between, it can be a sin between heterosexuals as well.
Yes, that's correct.
So, okay, so
she threw a real jab at him and he threw a fake jab at her, because he was making up stuff talking about the interracial, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see, like, people on the outside looking in don't like interracial dating, like, down south and, Louisiana and stuff like that, but over here in Northern California and in California, it's looked at kind of differently. But he was trying to, like, throw a jab at her because she with a white dude. And she threw a jab right back, like, well, having gay sex, that ain't right either.
You've never heard that interracial marriage was sinful?
I've never heard somebody make a biblical argument for interracial. I've never, and that's why I'm saying if you could present that to me, and if maybe you're familiar with what verse that was. Yeah, but actually, it's not a biblical argument. It's also a religious argument as well, more so than anything, that you're in a sinful marriage and that black and white people should not be married. I mean, I'm obviously very aware that people could think that ideologically, but I've never heard that biblical argument made ever in my life, and I'm happy to be proven wrong here. But I think you made that up on the spot there.
So by saying that, no, I didn't actually, but by saying that you believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, does that mean, though, that I should be discriminated against?
No, I've never called for discrimination.
So you believe in the separation of church and state, then?
Heterosexual couples can sin as well. I mean, I hope that you deal with that. I want you to be Christian and to understand why it is that sodomy is a sin and what else it yields in society. I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Facts.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you believe that I should be discriminated against. I don't believe I should be able to have, under the Constitution, you believe.
And she's not saying that you should be discriminated against. She's just saying, her beliefs and her morals. And I don't understand why he's trying to go against her or trying to call her out for being in an interracial relationship, and then he say he in an interracial relationship. It's like he almost just trying to fish for something to say because he know what he's trying to argue is wrong.
That I have the same rights as you and other heterosexuals, and that my marriage is just as valid under the Constitution as anybody else's, including.
Well, I believe that the problem became that gets into a deeper theological discussion, but like the government should have never taken marriage away from the church. It should have been something that was maintained as a church practice.
Right.
And so a lot of things happened there when the government took over and began marrying people, because then the arguments became, well, you get a tax break if you're married, and that is a way longer discussion that we can have on a different day.
That's exactly what I just said, like earlier in my argument. Like, come on, man, they get tax breaks and all kind of things. The government is breaking and bending a lot of laws.
But to answer your question, I would never want any person based on their sins to ever be discriminated against, ever. I mean, I don't believe in discrimination. I don't believe that people should be treated differently. I think people should get help, and like we were just talking about with trans indoctrination, I believe that's a mental illness and people should seek help. But I don't believe that they should be discriminated against. I would never be okay with that. Okay. I mean, I have people that are, gay and lesbians in my life. I have cousins who are lesbians, so it's not, I don't have hatred
Do you have gay
in my
friends?
heart.
Do you have Jewish friends? Do you have gay friends?
You're trying to be funny.
Hey, that's a good conversation though. Do you feel like people that are gay, do you feel like that's a mental illness? Because that's what Candace Owens just said. Y'all let me know in the comment section.
Do you have gay friends? I want to know.
Yes, I actually don't have, like, I really kind of feel like I only hang out with my family right now, so I'm a little, I've got 3 kids under 3, so I don't really have friends right now, but yeah, sure.
No, seriously, you don't have gay friends?
Well, I have gay people in my family, so yeah, that's the extent of my friendships with gay people.
Are you homophobic?
How does that mean that? What is
No, seriously, I want to know.
I mean, but how is she homophobic because she don't got no gay friends? Like, I don't got no gay friends. I mean, if they gay, they ain't telling me, but how is that homophobic? I don't understand his argument.
Such an absurd
I thought you would say,
being.
of course I have gay friends.
You're just such an absurd being. First off, the person that you're just an absurd human being. Are you homophobic? I'm just like, what does homophobia actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobia? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? Like I'm like, oh my God, look, there's a gay man. I'm so scared.
No, not at all.
Have a phobia is like to have a phobia, a fear of, like, you know, you think I fear like 2 gay men that are walking down the street holding hands? Like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't fear anything but God.
So I'm gonna stop this right here, and I'm gonna say this. I feel like Candace Owens, man, she really stood on business. You know, no matter what he asked her, you know, she stood on principles. And to me, it don't matter whether you gay or straight or none of that. But don't try to bring up false narratives just because someone getting on you. You know, Candace Owens, she was just winning the argument, you know, and he was getting mad. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the content in the comment section. And until the next one, y'all stay safe out there.